paddle it around the world. You can ride the Hennepin Crawler for $1, impress them steampunk girls. If you ride the Hennepin Crawler for...
I'm Jake.
I'm Tom.
And we are VIMTV Velocities in Music. Today, I'm very excited, as I'm sure Tom, by his shirt, is also very excited, to review the new Primus album, Green Naugahyde. Is that how you say it?
It is how you say it. I heard Les Claypool say it.
You heard him say
and
it.
he pronounced it that way.
You gotta take it away, Tommy. This guy just saw Primus live.
Yes, this last weekend, it was like 4 days ago, got to see Primus, and it was an incredibly good show. They played 2 sets and an encore. Their first set was a bunch of old, fan favorites. Their second set, they played Green Naugahyde straight through. I apologize for the wrinkliness of this shirt. It was folded up in my pocket during the show, and I have not washed it since. So it probably smells
That's
like
why it really smells
Primus
bad
concert.
in here.
Yes, exactly. You can't smell it through the video, and be thankful of that.
Steve Jobs is working on that post-mortem.
I was gonna say that's a bad taste now.
Like a ghost.
Anyways, but it was an incredible concert. I'm a huge Primus fan. As a bass player, I feel like you at least have to be a Les Claypool fan. If you don't love Primus, that's okay, because their music is very odd. To tell you the truth, one thing I've always valued about this band is the originality. There is not another band out there that sounds like this. No. Who would you possibly compare them to? I mean, like in some of the instrumentals and like the emphasis on bass, I'd say the closest you could get is maybe like Red Hot Chili Peppers. But
Well,
the vocals don't even come close.
Maybe from an instrumentation standpoint, I can tell that this influenced bands like Man for sure.
Oh yeah.
But no one has Les Claypool's bass style.
No,
I mean,
nobody.
He has done so much for the genre, and no wonder why you like Primus so much, meaning that this guy plays bass a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, he's been a big influence on me. So beyond that, obviously on this record, you're going to get amazing bass. They've got a new drummer, Jay Lane, who does a great job. Also, this album was entirely produced by Les Claypool.
Oh, cool.
And he does a good job, I'd say. But then the guitarist Larry, he's been with them since the beginning, and so Larry and Les have just been rocking. And they played this album amazingly live. But I will get beyond that to the actual album itself. And the way I would describe this is in terms of past Primus work, a lot of the riffs and the songwriting remind me of stuff from Frizzle Fry, their first studio album, so it's really a jump back to their early days in that regard, but it has a lot more of the dark characteristics of like Pork Soda and some of the middle to late material that they put out where things started really getting like kind of creepy almost. And you get that a lot here, not only in the music and the riffs themselves, but also in the lyrical themes. There's a lot of kind of into the world tragedies are coming, is one of the tracks. Some of that, a lot of commentary on consumerism in the lyrics, which to tell you the truth has always been in Primus's lyrics, but never as obviously as here. Right. I mean, they really pull out all the stops and don't try to cover it up with any strange metaphors. I mean, they do occasionally, but not quite as much. But still, you have some fun songs like Lee Van Cleef, just a dedication to the actor, the Western actor, and references to fish and food, which is a classic. So basically, overall for me, I feel like this is not Primus's best work, but it is very impressive for a band whose last LP was in 1999, 12 years ago. The fact that they can come back, do this, show that they're still relevant and not just flop on their faces, put out a very enjoyable album, I think is quite commendable.
Right. And just for the purpose of not repeating everything you just said, I found this album to be highly enjoyable. I think a little bit... I took the whole conceptuality and lyrical theming behind this album. I think I took it was a lot bigger in my mind when I was listening to this. And therefore, I don't think I liked it quite as much as you, Tom. But you are a huge Primus fan and just saw them live, so that kind of goes without saying.
It's going to influence my opinion.
Right.
It is.
I kind of felt like the concept was pretty heavy. When I listen to this, I get, I'm thinking that, first of all, is Les Claypool a vegan? I mean, there's nothing wrong with vegans, right? I have one of my really good friends, she's a vegetarian, and I think that that's actually a great lifestyle, but he is commenting so much on food. It's food, 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 food. There's a lot of consumerism in there too, but the main drive is food. And sometimes it's hilarious. The satire that he lays upon your ears is quite funny at times, and then other times it's just kind of overwhelming. And I feel like we never really I feel like that's what Green Naugahyde ended up being all about, just that statement. And I don't really know if that's how personal that is to you. I mean, how much you can really relate. You can take that away and you can go, oh yeah, that's a cool idea. This made me think differently, and that's a good album. I mean, a good album can do that. But does it make you, is there like a cathartic release? No. Is there something that resonates with inside your soul and everything? Are you going to have a huge emotional connection to this album? No. And that's kind of what, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you do, but I think the vast majority of us will not be, just because it's such a thought-provoking album, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, I think that kind of hit me and didn't make me fall in love with it. I found it tougher to fall in love with. And to couple that, I think that because of that, and because I think some of the longer tracks on here kind of are a little self-indulgent.
Oh yeah,
they go on for a while. Kind of gives it a jam.
They've always had tracks like that.
They always have. And so I'm not really saying that that's a bad thing, because it's, Primus being Primus, which is always good. It's just, it's a little self-indulgent. They go on for a while, and I'm sitting here going, wow, this kind of sounds more jamish, and I wish it was a little bit more focused. For me to be that perfect album, it doesn't actually come close to that. But I do think it's just a solid record, and definitely enjoyable listen. So that's kind of where I ended up with it.
Yeah, I totally understand that.
Where are you sitting, Tom?
I'm going to give this an 81.
Cool. I'm a little bit lower than you. Like I said, 72. So overall, that puts us in the upper 70s, which a score in the mid to upper 70s is a definite checkout for you guys. If you guys are interested in Primus at all, you definitely need to go check out this newest release, since it's been 12 years. I mean, I'm guessing a lot of people, even our age and younger, haven't really been exposed to Primus yet. Even I'd be willing to bet, and mostly diehard. So if you haven't checked out Primus, this would be a great starting point. But definitely take the time to go check out all of Primus's legacy work. And if you're a Primus fan, this is still a good one that you will have to check out because you are a fan. Let us know what you thought at www.velocitiesandmusic.com or youtube.com/velocitiesandmusic. Also, check out our Facebook and Twitter. I'm Jake.
I'm Tom.
And we are VIMTV, moving music critique forward.
In the marketplace.